Good evening. I'm starting on a new car. It's a Chrysler Sebring here. We had moved it into the garage here. Had to move some stuff around to get it in there. Apparently this one, it should be a pretty quick fix. There's transmission fluid leaking from the bottom of the transmission. Like when you fill it up and you run it, put it in gear, it drips out like it's pouring. He I guess hit a rock, and it cracked the transmission case where the transmission case meets the engine, and that's where it's leaking out of. You put some JB Weld on there as kind of a temporary fix to try and prevent the leak from dropping all the fluid. But I'm guessing that it's either going to be one of two things, because where the engine meets the bell housing of the transmission, there's no transmission fluid in there. That's where the flywheel, torque converter are attached, and then there's a shaft. Well, actually there's three of them that come out of the transmission. They go into the torque converter. One's the stationary, one's the rotor for the oil pump, and the other one is the drive transfer. The only other thing I'm thinking of is either the rock kind of wore, because that thing is spinning so fast, either poked a hole or wore a hole in the torque converter, which would explain some of that, and that's what I'm hoping it's going to be. If it's not that, then it means that the seal where the shaft, where the torque converter mounts onto the shaft coming out of the transmission, there's a input seal on the transmission itself. If that thing jerked up on the shaft and warped the aluminum housing for the seal, that would mean it's leaking around the seal and coming out. Maybe even the seal might have just been bent, which we might get lucky and just have it where it's a seal. But in any case, this one here is going to be a little different, because I'm not going to pull the engine out of the top of the car here like I normally would do. This one here, there's just one cross member underneath, and I'm going to have to raise the car up and then drop the transmission down and out. There's plenty of room here. Otherwise, I can't come up because of the angle in order to get this thing up. So this is the beginning of this project. I only have a couple of days to do this one, because this is the guy that has some medical issues, and he's needing the transportation. So let's just hope that we can get this thing done, and just pray that it's not going to be something very serious. And yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. I'm going to get started on it right now. Start jacking it up. Got to break the axles loose, because I want to pop the drive axles off. Drain the fluid, which there probably shouldn't be any in there now, but I'm going to have to drain it anyway just to be safe. And then once that's done, bolts, transmission comes right off. So, and then we'll know where we're at. We're cutting it close right now, because this week's just really, really hectic right now. But this is for a good cause. This is something that's definitely important, because it is needed transportation, like I said, for some medical issues that need to be addressed. Granted, he said, okay, I might be able to find rides. It'd be much easier if he could just drive his own car, right? So, I guess instead of talking, I'm going to get started. It'll probably be like before. I'll just start posting some pictures as I go. And then if, like I said, if anybody else has any questions about this type of car, this here is a 2001 Sebring LX V6 3-liter 24 valve. If you happen to have one, you have any questions about some issues you may have, keep an eye out on what I'm doing here, or send me a message, and I'll see what I can do. All right.